Hey everyone, today, actually in the past I've been asked questions too, like when you hunt out in bad weather, how in the world do you stay warm? And I actually watched a guy this morning, probably walked by like shortly after 8, and it was cold and rainy. We got about 1 inch of snow last night. Now it's just raining and sleeting. So I thought I'd just do like a quick little video about how I stay warm. It was probably 5 years ago. I hunted in weather similar to this, and I got so cold that I believe it was like the mild stages of hypothermia. It's crazy what we'll do to sit in a tree stand, but I was so cold that I climbed down to do jumping jacks, and I just kind of stood there in a daze. It was a really odd situation, but ever since then I've always wanted to just figure out how to stay warm. So I'm just going to go layer by layer and just explain. Obviously I have an outer shell. I'm going to start with my down hood, and then obviously, you know, this when it's raining, you know, the hood over that, and you can buckle that down. But this right here in reality is an absolute lifesaver. This is just a mid-weight coat. It's not insulated at all. It's just a mid-weight coat. And then I literally just have just a couple layers on. I got my safety harness still on here. But anyhow, so layer one was, you know, my hunting coat, and then I have just a down vest that I got at Cabela's. And then I have a down super thin down coat. And then below this, I just have just a polyester t-shirt. Something that I've learned is absolutely no cotton, none. I won't wear cotton socks. I won't wear cotton shirts. Nothing. I sweat a lot, especially doing a hanging hunt like you saw. I walked in here in my tree stand. You know, I'm putting a tree stand up when I hunt so I can stay mobile. Little simple things like a neck gaiter. It gets cold, then I can wrap that right up over. It keeps my neck good and warm. But that's literally all I have on, and it was 30 degrees out this morning, cold, rainy, windy. I was sitting in my tree, very comfortable, very, very comfortable. Here's a huge thing that some of us don't have. Get them. It's just a simple hand muff. And of course you got your hand warmers in there. One trick that I found for hunting in the cold, especially when it's wet, is to bring extra gloves. This morning I went out with 2 pairs of gloves. You know, right here is my first pair. They were soaked because everything's wet. Your bow rope's wet. You know, everything you touch, your bow is wet. Something that I really noticed in the past is, especially when it's really cold, on my bow hand, holding onto that bow. And when it gets really cold, I'll actually wear just a thin pair of gloves with just on only this hand, the mitten muffs. And then I'll have a hand warmer in there because I've gotten my hand so cold holding onto a bow waiting for a shot that it became painful. And you know, out deer hunters, we number one want to be safe. We want to stay warm, and we want to be able to enjoy ourselves. So, and then for the bottoms, let's see if I can just turn the camera down. For my bottoms, I basically have the same thing. I have the outer shell, and then I have down that, and then I have merino wool, and that's, you know, just 2 thin layers, and two thin layers there. And I tell you what's really nice is this hat. When it's really cold out, I can put a hand warmer in that hat and then droop it down past my neck like this. You know, I can go down past my neck and I can tuck it into there with a hand warmer on. And then when I put my hood up like this, it literally insulates. I've heard that 80% of your heat was lost through your head, you know, your face and your head, and keep that warm. Because number one thing for me is my hands, head, and feet. If I can keep my hands and my feet warm, it seems like my torso stays warm and my core stays warm. I don't really have trouble keeping my core, but as soon as my hands get cold and as soon as my feet get cold, you know, the hunt's over. So, and then just real quick for my feet, I'll just show you like what I do. These are just 1,200 gram Thinsulate lacrosse boots. Nothing too fancy. I got them $120 at Hesperia Sport Shop. And then, but underneath, I got just 2 pairs of socks, and I'll show you what's really beneficial is that. Just a simple hand warmer. And this is just a pair of just thin, again, merino wool Columbia socks. So that's just kind of like how I stay warm. And today, you know, I was able to sit comfortably, you know, in these cold temperatures. And for me, a number one thing I think to stay warm is to limit sweat. And if I can limit that sweat, especially, you know, walking out to my tree, I literally will pack everything. And that's why, you know, like I literally will go out with just my base layer. And what's cool about down is I can take my entire warming system and I can literally pack it like this. And that is my, and I can just literally put that in my backpack, fanny pack, whatever. And it's just super packable and little weight at all. I don't know what that weighs, not even a half of a pound, I have no idea. But yeah, that's just a couple quick tips just to stay warm in the woods and just to be able to stay out longer. So hopefully this helps somebody to stay warm, because if you're warm, you can hunt a lot longer. So just Lord bless your hunts. Talk to you later.